Okay. Now, first of all, giving you the link. The link is that's a Bitly link. So if it doesn't open for you when you paste it, copy paste, then it should open when you just type Bitly and then whatever the letters. So that gives you this program. Now, for those who are new here, who have not been here as yet, what we do is try everything. And that's the difference between just, yes, there are nice, interesting new things going on in AI. So first of all, I'll try everything that we are doing, and the model here is Jeff Dean, who even though he is the chief of AI at Google, nevertheless tries every software and codes all the time. And that's my philosophy. I know there are people who don't like to code, but, well, I differ. I think it's a must by now. So that's what Jeff Dean does, and that's what we do. And the first thing that I will show you is this. Now, we've been around more than 2 years. You can see me, I've been around more than 2 years, but I mean that webinar has been around more than 2 years. And scrolling down, you can see what we have been talking about. But now, today, we're going to talk about this. And before, look at the learning path. Learning path is, I think, a very precious thing. So I'm clicking on that, opening that link, and that is, to me, very, very precious. Now, I had a moment of weakness, I have to confess. And that moment of weakness when I said, oh, it's so precious, so important that I closed access. But you probably didn't notice because I changed my mind next day. So what you see here is a list of all courses. That all started right here, okay? Of course. But then it continued. Initially, it was about one course every 2 weeks. By now, it's 2 courses every 1 week. And every one of them is essential. So I would say, please learn. That is the only message that I have. Now, these last 2 are very interesting. Let's talk about them first, and then we'll continue with our regular program. So first of all, LLM as operating system. In other words, how can I build better and better? And people are building AI applications non-stop. We're not talking about creating new LLMs. That's for the biggies. But we're talking about creating applications. That's where we are. And if you want to have AI power your application, not only in a specific area, but also it will do the architecture. It will tell you what to do next. That is where it is. So LLM as operating system, and that is doing memory. You know, when you open ChatGPT, right? I know that's a well-known example, and verify which account I'm in. So I'm in an Elephant Scale account, work kind of account, and say, what's my name? I wonder. It will say, of course, I never know. Okay, my name is Mark. Okay, it just said, yeah, nice to meet you, Mark. Okay, what is my name? The name is Mark. How does it work? If you use the API to talk to ChatGPT, it will not know and will not remember. So, okay, nice to meet you, Mark, says Hanan. Thank you, and nice to meet you as well. Okay. Well, so the simple implementation is just keep sending it all of the dialogue. And that's what I did once. It works more or less. It's not the smartest possible implementation. So I did it. You said this, I said that, you said this, I said that. And then you go up go up the chain, and you realize that that's built into different applications. But what they have done is even more. What they have done is memory becomes part of the underlying system. It can grow, it can choose the strategy of what to do. And that is what this course is about, even though I'm not covering it today. And safe and reliable AI with guardrails, obviously, the name tells it all. Now, when I have that course here, it takes you directly to that course. Let me open that link, and that's how it works. But if you go to the right here, then you will see the same repository, but in our repository. Now, again, that's open. If you go there, let's go there. You will see this as a complete repository with all the supporting files. Now that one I haven't really done, but these ones, for example, they are here. I'm working on that one right now. And if we go into lesson 1, then we will see that it also has a few additional files. Without that, it will not work. So if you only go and listen and, oh, sorry, I stopped sharing. Okay, so if you simply listen, that's like a TV show, like a movie. But if you use MyLab, all the explanations are there. It also tells you how to prepare, how to run it the very first time, and that is right here, how to run it the very first time with the complete instruction and what you need to do. Okay, we will be back to that. I only wanted to mention the 2 new courses. I was saying that there are 2 new courses every week, and definitely you have what to learn if you have time. And the answer is, well, what should I use my time for? Obviously, I have time. Every human has time. But I would say there are philosophies where learning is the most important activity. So first, you do that. Okay, back. That's just where things are. And now we'll start with the planned program. And first of all is that Andrew Ng talks about that there are more and more agentic LLM. Now, what is agentic LLM? It's not clear. Anything that looks like an agent and walks like an agent and talks like an agent, that it is an agent, that's good enough. So, for example, you can have an agent controlling your computer. We'll look at it later. And, well, that's an agent that's controlling your computer. What does it do? Well, that's another agent that decides what to do, and so on. Now you begin to see the architecture and the idea. By the way, if you want to chat, please do that. And if you want to speak up, just tell me and I will enable your mic. All right. So more and more agentic LLM means that before people used to optimize their LLM for user experience. Like I say, hello, I'm Mark, and it tells me, okay, I know you. But now, agentic is not necessarily optimized for that. Instead, it's optimized to a more narrow goal. It doesn't have to figure out what exactly the other agent said. It's much easier. So more agentic means I'm optimizing for specific goals and not just for general attempt to become a very smart LLM that's called General Artificial Intelligence, GAI. Talking about General Artificial Intelligence, I tried something interesting yesterday. Learning philosophy, I asked it, obviously I am learning philosophy and I am, becoming smarter. Let's say that's my reward. What does it think? What does ChatGPT think that it is not maybe learning with me, but it is helping me? Well, I heard an interesting answer. It said, as an agent that is helping you, I also get my reward. That was the first time that LLM didn't become very modest and didn't say, well, I'm just an LLM, what do you want from me? That was the standard answer. It's not, of course, self-conscious, but it is an attempt to claim some reward for the help. All right, that's what agentic are, and other pieces of news is that one of the trends is more military use. Here's the military llama. I'm combining all the interesting news in one place, and then I'll talk about other things. But here's the military llama. That is the official statement from Facebook here. And it says, essentially, we're opening AI for the military. You know, Llama, you have to download. And when you download, you have to fill out a questionnaire. I did. I got permission to use it. Well, what if I am a military guy? I cannot lie. And then it turns out that they might refuse. Well, that's what they did before. Now they're not going to refuse. They are not the only one. There are two official announcements, and the second one comes from Anthropic. And, you know, you would think, of course, the military should use, and all of that. But it turns out that there was a backlash, and the employees of Google walked into the streets and no, we're not going to do the war. Now, my personal unqualified opinion is that just the war become closer. It became closer, and I would say people who are against it now are being ignored, maybe put it this way. In any case, that's an interesting announcement, more and more military use. And who is under that? Well, there are contractors like Cognizant, it would be one, and other similar companies. All right, that's about the news. Now, what is interesting, and you can read the news without me. Now, what is interesting is that I see interesting news just by my talking to people. One interesting thing was this. The guys call me, do you want to be on the meeting? Yeah, I want to be on the meeting. They are launching soon, so you cannot get much out of that. But what they are doing is calling themselves Ingenious Data Network, and essentially combining all of the data and then applying AI. So it's a standard RAG architecture, and people are trying to do something with that, and that's what I see more and more. You have to package it in a different way. For example, they package it like we are a great compliance engine. All right, I've seen that too. This is Cantron. The guys got in touch with me as well. Same idea, except that the previous one said, oh, there's so much unstructured data, and that's what we will ingest. This guy said just the opposite. There is so much structured data, and that's what we'll ingest. But everyone is trying to do the same thing, same architecture, ingesting as much as possible, and then applying AI and making that a product. Well, essentially, that's what I'm also thinking about. Now, another little piece of news is MOE, Mixture of Experts. While we all know that RAG is a popular architecture for the applications, but Mixture of Experts is a popular architecture for building something, and that's the Chinese ability. Let's go there. That's the paper. The paper that they published is about Hunyayun, and I don't know what that word means. So let's try. Blended, chaotic, that's interesting. So that really means what it says. Wonderful. So we were looking at that paper and we were saying, okay, impressive numbers, 52 billion activated parameters. But what they're saying is we published it. We published it means you should be able to access that. Okay, So I already copied that name. You go to Hugging Face. And Hugging Face is the place where geeks hang out. And it's like GitHub, but for AI. And I'm looking for that model. I'm logged in. But even if I'm not logged in, it's the same search. So I'm looking for that. Did they really publish it? Look, yes, indeed, they did publish it. Here it is. And you can even try. Well, not so fast. If my name is Mariama, my favorite, and I try to continue, they will say, our model is just too large. It will not work here, but however, it will work from this endpoint. Okay, so go there, maybe be logged in and play with it. In any case, that's too much to do right now, just for the show that the new models are being developed all the time, and one of them is this. And when they say it's open, that really is open. That is what I wanted to show. And I just say it's too much, right? Every week there are 2 new courses. Every week there are some news. Every week there are new demos. And let me show you a couple demos, and then I'll give you my answer to that. So this is Anthropic. Anthropic says we have a computer use. That's the official term, use case. But what that means is that their model, smart model, AI, is taking control over the computer with your permission. So, of course, it will start with a lot of warnings about don't do this, but in the end, they will show the demo. I thought of making the demo, but then I found very good demos, 2-minute demo on the web. So I think I will show you that first. I will show you that, and then we will be able to discuss. To show that, I need to stop my share. I need to share a game, but this time when I'm sharing, I'm saying share sound. And now whatever I hear, that's what you will also hear. We were at that demo, so let's go there. It starts almost immediately. I apologize for the music. Some people like to put music in the background. Okay, it's there. But what he's showing you is how the Anthropic model is controlling his computer. And I would say pay attention, please, to the left part of the screen where he tells it what to do. And it tells you, okay, I tried that didn't work. I tried this, it worked. So it is an intelligent assistant. There you are.
I'm Alex. I lead developer relations. I'm Alex. I lead developer relations at Anthropic, and today I'm going to be showing you a coding task with computer use. So we're going to be showing Claude doing a website coding task by actually controlling my laptop. But before we start coding, we need an actual website for Claude to make changes to. So let's ask Claude to navigate to Claude.ai within my Chrome browser and ask Claude within Claude.ai to create a fun 90s themed personal homepage for itself. Claude opens Chrome, searches for Claude.ai, and then types in a prompt asking the other Claude to create a personal homepage for itself. Claude.ai returns some code, and that gets nicely rendered in an artifact on the right-hand side. That looks great, but I want to make a few changes to the website locally on my own computer. Let's ask Claude to download the file and then open it up in VS Code. Claude clicks the Save to File button, opens up VS Code, and then finds the file within my Downloads folder and opens it up. Perfect. Now that the file is up and running, let's ask Claude to start up a server so that we can actually view the file within our browser. Claude opens up the VS Code terminal and tries to start a server. But it hits an error. We don't actually have Python installed on our machine. But that's all right, because Claude realizes this by looking at the terminal output and then tries again with Python 3, which we do have installed on our machine. That works. So now the server's up and running. Now that we have the local server started, we can go manually take a look at the website within the browser. And it looks pretty good, but I noticed that there's actually an error in the terminal output, and we also have this missing file icon at the top here. Let's ask Claude to identify this error and then fix it within the file. Claude visually reads the terminal output and then opens up the Find and Replace tool in VS Code to find the line that's throwing the actual error. In this case, we just ask Claude to get rid of the error entirely, so it will just delete the whole line. Then Claude will save the file and automatically rerun the website. So now that the error is gone, let's go take a final look at our website, and we can see that the file icon has disappeared and the error is gone as well. Perfect. So that's coding with computer use and Claude. This took a few prompts now, but we can imagine in the future that Claude will be able to do tasks like this end to end.
All right, thank you. Well, I have another demo here also. So I started this one, but now I think that that demo was perfect. That other demo, you can look at it. That is an open file. You can always go back and do whatever it says. So with all of that, and with a side item of the writer, but now what to do with that? I think there's so much. What I showed you is a learning program, right? A learning path. So anybody who wants to be something should learn it. I show it to you again. Well, that's 70 courses, right? 73 maybe, it depends upon how you count. That's a lot. Okay, so my answer was that one guy wants to make it into a course because he says, I cannot sell all these courses, all the online sites beat me with the price and availability, but I'm showing him very realistic courses that nobody really does on those sites. We need much more advanced than the first step. That's one way, but another way is just find a way. Because by now, yes, every element is free. Every element is the 70 course program is there. How do you combine them? It's like I taught you the alphabet. What they do with it, it's still not clear. So one answer is this. I think I already showed it to you the last time. We are a training company, so we gave the people Python, machine learning with Python, and it doesn't take too much Google searching to tell me that, guys, that's 20 years ago. What is it now? All right, so I asked, what do you want? They said, what we want is this. We want these practical use cases. We are an agency. We like to do reports for executives. We like to capture the knowledge of employees and so on. All right, I put it into the outline and that's all. So I'm teaching it in a month. I also added what you need to know. Now, yes, I'm getting out of the big plate of free courses, but I'm combining that. I'm giving you the real course and how exactly to run it, giving you all the instructions. So the corporations, they like to do that. They like to hire somebody to walk their programs through that. That's one answer. Another answer is that with that guy who wants it as a course, I also think that it would be good to do something, but I'm thinking, what if we started as a service? Like, yes, there are $50 a month websites and they teach you something specific. We take you through the path of learning, how to become an AI programmer. And we give you lectures, very little amount of lectures, rather point you to the free course that you need to do, help you go through that, give you the email support. What do you think of that, guys? I'm really asking you the question. So we have a few choices. I'm going to chat. This is chat. And the answer is how to become an AI programmer. So choice number one, learn everything. And by everything, I mean all these 70 courses and maybe more. Now, I do realize it's not for everyone. So choice number two, come to a structured. And he wants to charge you lots of money. Payable course. And choice number three, subscribe to a how to become an AI programmer service, which will means with email support and occasional, well, in the regular lectures, like weekly office hours, maybe that. So if you have an opinion, then of course, tell me what you think. Okay, course. Okay, that's interesting. That's what I told him. It won't go, but you're interested in that. Okay, that means in his mind, there will be, he doesn't know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. But it will be a course where you get lectures, where you get instruction, that lasts for about 6 weeks, he thinks. And it would work, I think, for somebody who is working at a stable job, wants to shift up, shift left, shift right, but wants to advance and has the money to pay, or maybe their employer will pay. That's the kind of course, Swapna, is what I'm talking about. Hope I answered. Got it. Okay, great. So if you have 1, 2, 3 opinion, please tell me. And that's what we would start with, that exact course where I give people, it's on our side, I give people serious introduction on what is today required for the good implementation, all the modern RAG and LangChain that builds it together, and what the right architecture is. But from here, the path goes in each individual's way. Maybe you want to use Amazon, maybe Azure. Now, for example, I have this was 53 because that's a prerequisite to 52, and I am opening it and running it. But in addition to here, you can listen to the course, yeah, but it will not work. There are lots of setup elements. So here they are. Let's go to the right place, and that's open labs, and then 53. So here, that tells me how to run it the very first time. So let's open it. That's already real. That's getting your hands very dirty with the code. It says how to run the first time. Okay, complete instruction on how to run it the first time and what you need to set up. And then how to run it every time. And all you need to do now, after you've done it the first setup, you say activate that environment for just that one course, which nicely separates it from all others, and then Jupyter Lab. Okay, so it is the same course, The intent of that course is to start working with Amazon LLM, and you start here. That's the very first lab that you do. But for that to work, you really need to set up the regions and some things on Amazon. So yes, now it works on my local machine. Look at that. This is localhost, so it is here. And the reason it works is because I discovered two things that would stop you or me. Number one, it works because I set up my Amazon. That's a must. You need to set up an Amazon, and AWS should be a command that's working on your computer. That's number one. Number two, it should be set up with your keys. For example, you say S3, give me all the files that I have, and it gives me all the files. So I have proven that I'm connected to the Amazon, and that works. But number two is a big surprise. Okay, let me open AWS. Okay, so I'm in my account. I sign in, and then you discover something that they didn't quite tell you because it's so obvious to them that you need to go to Bedrock. Who came up with this name? So you need to go to Bedrock. And when you go to Bedrock, you need to scroll on the left all the way down to models. All right, model access. Now you need to look on the right. And what you see here is that it is available to request. Nobody ever tells you why it's blocked in the first place. So I gave myself all rights and nothing. Well, it turns out each region has to be enabled by request from you. Okay, I chose that region where they run their lab. And lo and behold, access granted. Well, because I requested it. Okay, all you need to do is click on one button and it's almost automatic. All right, that is what is missing, kind of the missing manual that you discover, and everybody will discover their own missing things. I looked at the comments, I'll talk about them. Everybody is on their own. That is what I'm thinking how we can help people. In any case, let's go back. Let's be going with the straight path of learning. And I showed you the workshop plan. I showed you that you can either learn everything, which is, yes, open-ended, but that is what Andrew Ng likes to say. He says that the time has come to learn non-stop. Otherwise, just like in Alice in Wonderland, they talk about that in the regular place, that's where Alice comes from, you need to run to get somewhere. But the queen answers her that in their country, you need to run just to stay in one place. And that is our situation today. So, yes, it is an open road to learning. Yeah, you want the course. Well, the only link that you really need is that. Because all the other links are right here. That's the link to the course, but I will give you instead the whole menu, and then you will have the rest. Okay, so what we were talking about is that there are the news, and they're interesting news. There is an interesting demo. I'll be back to this demo of Anthropic, how you can make it control your computer. And then I promised to talk a little bit about the writer, but I really wanted to show you first, that's the plan of the that specific workshop, which is a great popular architecture. But if somebody needs hand holding, then I'm thinking of a subscription service, $50 a month, for email support in their learning. So if you have any opinion, well, you can tell me. All right, thank you. I promised to talk about the writer. So the writer is a very interesting thing. Everybody builds something. What's interesting about the writer is that they got $200 million investment. And you look at them, what exactly did they offer? Well, here's the demo. Here is the demo. And how are they better than ChatGPT? Well, start the tour. It says it's a pre-built chat interface. Well, of course, ChatGPT is also pre-built. What else? Dedicated user experience, specific task again. Nothing amazing. I think it's for the stupid lawyers who cannot just start using ChatGPT. But then you go on and you say, okay, I understand. They first ideate. Wow, that's a word. Generate text and write a letter to the judge. And then example what ChatGPT could do without you. And then provide on-the-fly assistance to essentially, I think it's just selling it to the people who don't know how to use AI. What I'm saying is that there is an amazing amount of startups, and I'm looking at some of them just because I get in touch or they get in touch. But you see how many AI opportunities there are from financial to non-financial. And I think the only way that you can have your own opinion is by trying. Even ChatGPT, and I have some courses up front in this learning path. Even ChatGPT is not that easy. Yeah, you can start by saying, what's my name? But if you want to say, look inside my refrigerator and build a menu, you will, it can, but you will see that you need to know how to talk to it. You need some education on how to use these models, and it's not obvious. But a couple hours of learning and you will be there. So it's a big new world, and you can learn how to get around this world, but please learn. Ask me questions or ask questions of ChatGPT. Maybe I can show you some of the courses on Coursera where that's already built in. The ChatGPT is almost everywhere now, and you can ask it or you can ask the course, but the only secret is please ask. You need to do that. Okay, so I will stop my chat and I will stop share and I will put myself on mute and I will give you a chance to ask questions. Okay, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Okay, I would like to start learning agent force. Now I don't see the full spelling, but share the screen back. Go into ChatGPT and asking that question. So Swapna, I think that is a good start. Gives you the link where to go, tells you what you will be learning. And what I showed you is that but that one is Salesforce specific. If you want to say no, not Salesforce specific, then save. So I'm saying, first of all, your first, and secondly, your second comment. There you are. Once it's finished answering the first one, it will answer the second. So we still need humans very much. And I think that AI by now teaches us what is special about humans. But I will let you decide what is special about humans. But what I'm advocating is that treat this AI as an inseparable companion. It can answer your questions. When I have a picture, you can give it the picture, just like that. Making a screenshot. Okay, and pasting this screenshot into the ChatGPT. So it will give its reaction. But before you ask other people, ask ChatGPT. That doesn't mean that it will give you complete answer. It doesn't mean that you can trust it. Just treat it as a fallible human who helps you advance in your brainstorm. Okay, I hope that was your question, right? Okay, then I'll go back to the chat. Any more questions? And meanwhile, I'll go back to our outline. So what I promised you is to talk about what's interesting, and what's interesting is agentic. That came up right away when it was ChatGPT was answering your question, how to learn. It said, oh, in general, that's what you want. That's agentic approach. You should know that architecture. You should know the RAG architecture. That's a lot, right? It's like almost a computer science course. After that, you will make your own opinion, and you will know how to talk to ChatGPT better, and how to make it do what you want, how to build it as part of your work plan. So I will end with an analogy. Let's say uh, let's say AI is new electricity. Okay, that's a well-known thing. Andrew Ng was the first one to say it, but everybody knows. So now we have a choice. Choice number one, build generators and power plants. Okay, how many people will be building generators and power plants? Well, a few. Choice number two, build electrical wanted to say toys, but really it's tools and appliances. How many people will do that? That's the whole world. Everything that you build will have electricity in it as a battery. And as a battery, you can make an analogy to a local model or power that comes from the power plant. But either battery or outlet. Okay, That's the plan. And that's what we're talking about. I think that is what we are doing. So no more questions. We are rounding up. And if you come up with more questions later, just send them my way. Okay, thank you very much for attending, for asking, and I wish you good luck in all of that. Great week and a great year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hanan. Thank you, James. Thank you, Liza. And I remember I need to go to your link